But let me tell you this, the coat and shoe solution. Hello, I'm JR. Welcome to Everyday Workshop, home of the inexperienced. Today we're going to build a shoe and coat rack. This is a rough drawing of the shoe rack I'm going to build for our house to put our shoes on. And to begin with, I'm going to make it out of just the material I've got. So I've got some of these 2x6s. I'm going to basically just cut them down to 1.5 by 1.5, 24 inches long. I've got my stop block on my miter saw set at 24 inches, so we have them all equal length. Okay, well now we've got the legs cut and all the framing cut. The legs, we've got them cut right here. And
so there's four of
these that will attach to the shells.
And how long are they?
25.5 inches.
25.5 inches long.
Then we have the top bracket cut, which is these right here.
That's 2 at
36 inches.
36.
And that's what our top shelf will back to. We've got the sides cut, and we've got this is actually the louvers that we put in, and we've got the sides put together, which are right here.
Oh, okay. So these are like the little rails.
That's the rails, and
the side rails.
And we actually done a groove inside all the way across, so the shells can fit in there.
Okay.
Then we put spacers in.
So that's here.
We put the spacers in between them.
That one's got spacers, that one, and then this one he's going to cut.
And this one, and these are going to be glued in. They're just temporary set in there now.
Okay.
So we're going to cut it off so it'll be even.
Okay.
And we're using the Irwin saw that cuts on the drawback, and it's made to cut small pieces and trim things up where it'll be even.
Okay, so turn that sideways so we can see what that is. Okay. All right.
And so now we'll be taking all this back apart to glue it, and then we'll reinstall it. And we'll put glue on the spacers here, and then we'll come back, and after they set up, we'll put glue on the louvers.
Okay.
And then we'll put together those.
All right.
So, okay, now we'll just be making some more shells. And when we do that, we'll come back and let you see what we've done.
Okay, so these are the bottoms and the tops of the side rail units here, the little, like this, that we just looked at.
These will actually be like this.
Okay, there you go.
And the shoe rack there'll be the top frame go from here to here, and then the other shells will be in here.
Uh-huh.
So now after, we're going to be taking them back apart and gluing them again, and then putting the top racks in.
Okay.
This is the side rail of the shoe rack. Now I just attached the legs. This is dry fitted, so we really don't need, this is just, when I take it back apart, this is what's going to end up looking like. Probably a little better. Everything will be more tightly fitted, but then it'll be off the floor that much, and that's what it's going to look like. So this will be the complete side. So now we've got two sides. We've got to attach it with a rack.
Okay, so you've just now put those legs on there.
Yeah,
so that made the little foot at the bottom. Yeah, that looks nice. So that's dry fitted, and
so we'll be taking it back apart.
Okay.
Okay, now the side panels, I'm taking them apart now. I'm going to glue the little spacers in. And I've already got one taken apart. I put the spacers in after I marked it. So once they dry, the glue will dry about 30 minutes. I'll sand it real good. And here's both of them. Then I'm going to sand these, and I'll put some glue on these. I want to stick them in, and then that'll be done. Then we'll put our legs on it, and I have them sides done. So right now I'm going to take this one apart and do the same thing that I've done to that one. Put the spacers in, glue them up, and let them set for a few minutes. Then I'm going to sand a little bit now. Okay, I'm gonna start cutting the shelf brackets this morning. And the shelf brackets will go, starting right here on the bottom. We'll have one across the bottom, goes all across. That's 35 3/4 inches. Then we'll have one about halfway up. That's gonna be divided into a boot rack also. Now I'm gonna cut the shelf brackets. These are 1.5 inches. I'm gonna cut them 3/4 of an inch so they don't look as big and bulky as the frame does. Now to cut these, I've got my table saw set on 3/4 of an inch, and I'm making everything now 2x6 number 2 lumber. That's all what I already had it here, so I was going to make everything out of it. So I'm going to cut the dust collector on, and we're going to start running some 3/4 inch boards, so it will be noisy for just a minute. Okay, here's our 3/4 inch board that we're going to use for our shelf brackets. We'll cut dados in them just like we did for the sides, and we'll put the shelves in. When you buy like a 2x4 or 2x6, the edges are going to come rounded kind of. So we don't want that on ours, so we just run it through the table saw enough to cut the rounded edge off so we can have everything square. And that's what we're going to do on this last cut, is cut this rounded edge off, and that way it come out 3/4 inch square, and then we can sand it and round it to match all the others. We run this paste through the table saw twice. One way, then we turn it around and run it the other way. And then that gives us a cut that's directly in the center of the board. Okay, now to get this wider cut, like this right here. Okay, this is a dado joint that we're going to put our shelf slats in this way for the shelves that go across on the set your shoes on. We could set up a dado blade to do this, but it's no more than we got to do. We're just going to do it with a table saw, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, these shelf brackets are 3/4 of an inch, where on the brackets that we used on the table for the framing is 1.5 and 1.5. So what we're going to do on this one, I'll show you how to. We'll set our saw on 3/8 of an inch, because this is 3/4, and half of 3/4 is 3/8. Okay, what I'm going to do is run it through the saw one time, and then turn around and run it through the other time, and that will get us exactly in the center. Okay, we're going to turn the dust collector on and also the table saw, so it's going to be a little noisy for just a minute, but just watch. We're going to run it through and then turn it right through again. By running it through twice now, we're exactly the same distance from this side as we are from this side. Now to make this wider, we're going to adjust our saw about 1/8 of an inch this away, and that will close the gap a little bit. And when we run the saw through this time, it's going to make each side a little wider. One more time. We're going to have our final cut, which will take another 1/8 of an inch or so off of this side, and it should come out to our right thickness of about 1/4 of an inch. So running it through twice on our final cut, we got exactly 1/4 inch dado. Now we're going to cut the rabbets that will go inside the dado.
Now for the shelf rails here, that he's starting to make, we're gonna have them flush with the leg here in front instead of having them set back in
Offset.
an offset. Thank you. So these will be flush. So
And
how
the
long
next
were,
one- Next one will be up here,
oh yeah, mm-hmm.
and these are 35 3/4 inches long,
35 3/4 inches.
and 1.5 inches wide.
And 1.5 inches wide, okay? This is what the rabbit end looks like. This is what he's gonna make now for the slats. And that rabbit fits into the dado joint that goes across. Okay, this is what he's gonna work on now.
Okay, this is one of our slats, and we're gonna take off 1/8 of an inch on this side and 1/8 of an inch on this side. Okay, we're gonna be turning the saw on. This is our dado, 1/4 inch with a 1/4 inch mortise. Slides right in. These will be 10 inches long. There will be another rabbit cut on this side, 10 inches long, and that'll make our bottom shelf bracket.
Okay, but this is not actually a mortise, right? Down here, this is a
Dado.
dado, okay. Beautiful. We have the bottom shelf assembled here with all the slats glued into place. And now we're working with the Craig. Let me show you what that looks like. The Craig Jig K4, and it's a pocket hole jig. And he's just going to put those pocket holes in there, and then we'll attach it to the main body. So this makes making the holes for the screws really simple. And remember, we don't do anything that's perfect here. We're just learning. And we make lots of mistakes, so I'm sure you can see a lot here. So he's just using a brace on this side.
To make it level.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you get all your holes on the same side.
Oh, I can see how I would mess that up. So I guess my point is, don't go by our directions. Like, just let us be a creative inspiration, and because we may be showing things that is not explained correctly, not done correctly, not by the book, and so we want you guys to make your projects a lot better. So a lot of research. And okay, so now the shelf is here. Okay, go ahead. So he's flipped it upside down, and now he's going to do what?
I'm gonna get me a guide to go by to put it out. What'd you say?
Yeah, so he's gonna cut a guide to hold it in place, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when the screws go in, it'll be level with everything. I think that's what he's doing. is measuring.
I like that.
I hope you guys are having fun with your spouse. In the shop, in the garage, or just by a bench in the room where you're renovating. Okay, so he's got this side attached. He's removed the braces. Let me show you what the braces look like. That's what he's clamping in place right here. Do you see? There. So here's a brace, and then down there is a brace. Temporary to hold it in place till he gets the screws put in the pocket holes, just like he did on this side. It went super fast on this side, and everything is lined up nicely, so I think we'll be good on this side as well. Okay, let me just hold it up here, maybe you can see. So he's pushing it back against the brace. And that keeps it lined up. And we got neighborhood noise going on, so. And then the table's also keeping it level. Okay. And then he's just going to put the other two screws in there, and then pop the two braces out, and we'll have that bottom shelf put in. Take the clamp off, and now he's just going to pop that brace out. Just going to... Okay, there's the other brace, and we're going to flip it back over, and we should have a bottom shelf. Look at that. Bottom shelf. Yay! Now we got to get the middle. Everything's lined up good. I think it will serve its purpose well. All right, now for the next shelf. Okay, so before I forget it, I'm going to show you how he made the top, and we're going to explain. You want to explain?
It's actually what I call a floating top. The boards are not connected. That's why you see some little grooves in the middle of it.
The floor's unlevel here in the cement in the shop, so that's why it's rocking.
So it can expand in the summer if it gets humidity. When it dries out, it probably has some cracks in it, but it can move around and it won't crack.
Okay, so my concern is that it will definitely look, without leaving a space, like if you left a space in between each board, then if it, you know, added or subtracted or went one way or the other, it wouldn't be that noticeable. But even right here, you can notice that the boards are, of course, it's not been final sanded.
No, it's still got to be sanded.
But if it's floating, even so, if it's floating, the humidity and dry, and then the dry air, drying it out back and forth, these boards, seems to me, is going to be going every which way. What do you say to that?
Once we can sand it, I think it won't be as noticeable.
I think we might do another kind of top on it, or glue these boards together and make one solid board. Something. I just don't think this is going to work. Do you see? It's already uneven, and if it's meant to float, I don't know how that's ever going to look like a smooth top. Anyway, we'll figure that out as we go. We watched the example video back again and replay, and sure enough, what is the fellow's name?
Tom Silva.
Tom Silva?
Silva, yeah.
Silva? Yeah, in his video, he did not just 3 boards, but 4 boards, and he let them float. So, that's what we're going to leave. That's what we're going to do.
And we got this idea from Ask This Old House.
Ask This Old House, Tom Silva, I think is the way you pronounce it. And so, we're going to leave it with the floating top. Okay, this is how it looks before the finish goes on. So he's got my little compartment right there for my boots. We'll show you what that looks like. Here it is with my boots in there, my rain boots. Isn't that cute? So now we've got to put the finish on it, which I think we're going to leave it natural and just a clear coat. Is this not the cutest thing that you've ever seen? And look at the little pegs that he made. They're rounded. Can you see? They're rounded. So you can hang your little jackets and sweaters on it. Oh my goodness. So that's what he's been doing while I've been roasting 4 chickens at one time.
After making the shoe rack, we decided to make a coat rack to hang on the wall above it. That way we have room for storage for the coats, hats, keys, or whatever. I made this out of the same scrap wood. It is a 1x6 that we had left over. I made the hanging hooks for the coats out of just a round dowel, cut them in half, took sandpaper and sanded them off rounded and put a little groove in them. This project was actually made with leftover wood that we had from the house renovation. You can actually make this with any scrap wood by sanding, cutting, and finishing. It'll look great. If you notice, what we decided to do was paint it white with a natural top. This will actually match our cabinets in the kitchen because they're going to be wood tops also. We invite you to check out our channel for a short shop tour and also how we made a customized dough board for our kitchen. And more projects coming in the future. Thanks for watching the Everyday Workshop, home of the unexperienced. We'll see you on the next video.